Hello folks, GWT here. Cell towers are killing us. They're making us sick. They can put us on the ground where our bodies will be collected up for disposal. These cell towers can drop hundreds of thousands of people in a matter of seconds, all to your house floors, to your yards, to sidewalks, to parking lots, to the ground itself. The cell towers can drop hundreds of thousands of people in a matter of seconds right to the ground where their bodies will be picked up for disposal. When they start to confiscate guns in this country right here, their frequencies will be able to read us, to tell who is resistant to their agendas and who isn't. And the supercomputers will be able to identify you and drop you to the ground using the dragnet or the net of cell tower control that's over top and is spreading across the whole entire flat earth from wall to wall of the dome, of the force field dome that's over top of this earth. And if you folks don't believe it, then you're in sad shape if you don't believe that. Just like YouTube blocks my videos, there is a distribution option in the advanced settings of YouTubers on their channels. And the distribution options has a box that says allow embedding, which I check, and there's another box that says publish to subscriptions feed and to notify subscribers. That box will not allow me to do anything to it. I can't access it. That's why YouTube is controlling the amount of views that I get, because they're taking subscribers that I have, but they're only allowing my new post to go through to certain ones of you subscribers. I've got 12,000 subscribers, and when I post a video such as the story of Martin Luther King's assassination and I get 200 views, I post a video about electromagnetic frequencies and how they can reverse engineer us, and I get 200 views or 300 views. That's because the 12,000 people who are subscribed to me, only a select few who are just little bitty poops of people like me are getting notifications. So nobody big is getting notifications, and only a very small number is sharing my videos to places where it might get me might get the video 5 more views or 10 more views or 1 more or 2 more views. Nobody's sharing the information. Some of y'all are not going to like some of the content in this video right here, and I'm going to screw it all up. It's going to be chopped up and messed up, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just went through open heart surgery, had quadruple bypass. I don't feel good. I don't feel like doing it. That big tube down my throat messed up my larynx and my vocal cords. I can't talk, and I'm high strung. I'm very passionate about what I do. So I seem like I'm screaming or I'm hollering or I'm mad, I'm intense, I'm upset. It's because I am. And it's because you folks are so dumbed down with fluoride. Now, I'm not saying it's your fault, but the fluoride that your bodies are consuming, the electromagnetic frequencies and the hypnotic effects that they have on you, they are keeping you from taking anything serious. They're keeping you from being able to have critical thinking and abstract thought. And I'm going to tell you right now, these 5G cell tower things that they're putting up, folks, y'all don't understand. That stuff, they can reach out and kill you in a matter of seconds with them towers. They can kill you dead. And you Christians all think Jesus is going to save you. Who in the F has Jesus saved in the last 2,000 years? Name me somebody. Show me a picture of somebody. I get so sick and tired of hearing it's not my fight. Jesus is going to fight the battle. All I got to do is pray. You people are pathetically ignorant. Neighbors need to educate their other neighbors and band together and stand together armed to stop the spread of these 5G cell towers and these other units that they're going to be putting in front of every 3 or 5 or 10 houses, which intensifies the electromagnetic frequencies and brings you even closer and more under their control. And until you educate your neighbors, and when they come into your area and they're going to put those boxes out in front of your house in the edge of your yard, you and your neighbors need to be armed, and you need to walk out there and say, no, 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 no. And then when they leave and the cops come, you still need to make a stand, armed, make a stand. Those cops are not a whole bunch of cops are willing to die for that bullshit. And until y'all start doing something, let me tell you something, folks. In Virginia, where I'm from, I'm living in Montana now, but in Virginia, where I'm from, the electrical company, which was called VEPCO, and then later became VA, or Virginia Power, there was a guy named William Bryant, Billy Bryant. He was a brother-in-law of mine from the Richmond, Virginia, the Mechanicsville area of Henrico, Richmond, Virginia. I used to tell him, he used to describe, I asked him questions. I was into research. And he died years ago and left a nice wife, a nice son, may have had more than one son. And he was a good guy, a nice guy. He smoked cigarettes. And I said something to him, and he said, oh, well, we got to die from something. Then he was a meter reader, and he worked on poles. He was a lineman and all kinds of stuff. Well, I asked him questions, and he described to me how the effects of electricity on his human body made him feel. And I told him, I said, Billy, it's killing you. You don't understand. Electricity puts off radiation. Those frequencies are going into your body and killing you. And he said, well, you got to die from something, just like say, well, it killed him. End of story. When you're dead, you're dead. There's nothing else that can be done. And these guillotines that everybody keeps talking about, they are probably mostly for public figures, because whoever's following public figures, if they see their head chopped off, then that's going to have an effect on the rest of them. But the guillotines and the BS behind the guillotines keep Christians locked into a Christianity which is a chicken shit cult of ignorance and disassociation with truth. I've told y'all before in previous videos, the Bibles that you worship, just like our astronauts will sit and pray to that pyramid-shaped figure of the capsules that most of them are supposed to be returning to Earth in, which is all BS too. None of them's even leaving the Earth to return in a capsule splashing down in an ocean somewhere. That's all a big show put on for y'all. Well, astronauts sitting around a table praying to a little model about as big as my hands of that capsule. What's up with that? What is that? They're praying? Who are they praying to? Just like y'all pray and pray and pray. What is your prayers getting you other than temporary? It temporarily affects your thought process. Now, I'm sensitive to the Christian stuff. I'm sensitive to the biblical stuff. I cry. I think about it. It touches me. It makes my hair stand up. Gives me chicken skin all over sometimes. It makes me feel repentance. It makes me feel humble. Well, that's human emotions that's messing with us. What the truth comes down to is prayer ain't stopping the 5G towers. Prayer ain't stopping the wars. Prayer ain't stopping the murderers. Prayer ain't changing our government. What is prayer doing for you other than screwing with your own heads? I told you, y'all ain't going to like some stuff that I'm going to say. You're just disassociating yourselves with the honest truth that is in your face. It's right in your face, and you disassociate with it. And if you want to check out Landlord helpline. Go on a computer and key in landlord helpline and just look around, browse. I'm going to tell you something. The earth pulsates about 8 kilometers, and humans and other life forms are in sync with this natural. It's a natural thing, a connection between the earth and life on the earth. And they have a natural harmony together with the earth, all life forms. These cell towers not only fill the air with disturbance, but also have a spider web network of cables underground that destroys the earth's bonds to life. It blocks life's natural intuition and abilities that the natural earth's pulses enables us. Do you understand? If you don't, back the video up. These monsters use their tectonic weapons to separate us from the natural energy and natural everything, which includes your ability to critical thinking, abstract thought, and reasoning. It's being disturbed. That's why everybody is complacent. That's why everybody doesn't care what's going on. It ain't bothering you. Due to a created false magnetic field that is spreading outward to cover the entire flat earth, no life will be able to escape it unless we stop it from happening. And you're not going to stop it with prayer. No life will be able to escape it. No life. Check out Rods of God, RODS, Rods of God, a kinetic energy weapon system that is being used on humanity. And I'm telling you right now, y'all better pay attention to my videos. And if anybody knows any way at all, you can't contact YouTube, you can't get them to do anything for you, but my videos being blocked from going to my subscribers, I don't know how to solve that. And none of you are willing. Those of you who might know a trick or two on how I can gain access to the controls, to the settings on that particular thing right there and make it stay, make it stick, then you got to do something other than just say, I know how, because that don't tell me nothing. Major floods of 1993 and more since then, major snowstorms, hurricanes, all of those things. They are controlled with the HARP and the Gwyn towers and the Russian woodpecker transmitter. We have invisible rivers. We have invisible rivers that flow north above the Mississippi and the Missouri for two. And these machines dammed up these rivers of moisture that's above the Earth's surface, a couple of miles up in the sky, I understand. They dammed them up and dropped the flood waters that destroyed food crops and animal life and millions of horses, cattle, pigs and sheep and chicken and deer and turkey, etc. Then IGA, government insurance, took over all of that land, forced ranchers and farmers completely out of business. That's what's happened. Our government has used war to break up the American family. They've used war to stop farmers, to stop agriculture, to stop food crops. They have used war and they have used weather to stop it, to make everybody dependent upon the government. And I said this in videos in the mid-2000s, and YouTube destroyed all of that stuff. Destroyed. It's not even you can't even find it unless somebody back then downloaded my other videos from a long time ago and still have copies of them somewhere. But most likely the government who destroyed my channel and that material went into all of your devices and removed any of my videos that y'all downloaded right off of your hard drives. Just like the Nibiru, now referred to as ISIS or ISS, Apollyon, the destroyer, which is supposed to be a spaceship. Now Nibiru's a spaceship, but it's underneath of the force field dome that covers the flat Earth. It came from probably either inner Earth or on the other side of the circled South Pole ice wall that surrounds the 7 or 8 inner continents, with a huge body of water that is far more vast than the inner part of the flat Earth that has our 7 or 8 continents and what we call, it's actually one ocean, but we named it a lot of different names: Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, so forth and so on. But this destroyer keeps you connected to the Bible, Apollyon and Isis and everything, and Satan's all-seeing eye. That is supposed to be the capstone on all the dollar bills. And I'm telling you something right now. You need to go on the internet and check out stopthecrime.net. This is GWT. Try to spread this video a little bit if you can. And if anybody knows if there's anything that I can physically do on my own, so my subscribers, 12,000 subscribers, and I get 200 views. If nothing else, I should be entertaining somebody as a comedian or as a nutcase, and more than 200 people should be looking at my stuff. Now, I'm going to reiterate on one thing. When these companies move into your areas, into your neighborhoods, into your yards, onto the property of people that you rent from who don't care, they're not living there. They are putting a net of control over top of all life. And humanity is the intelligent species that should not be allowing it and should not be putting up with it. And as I said in my videos 10 years ago, 12 years ago, we need to be putting these cell towers on the ground. And all of you cops and you alphabet government organizations and all you people who are associated with these sons of bitches who's doing this to humanity, all you got to do is wake your asses up and realize the people need to get up in arms and they need to put a stop to this. They need to put them towers on the ground, one right behind the other. We should be connected by cables. Our phones should work by phone lines, not by wireless communications, which has given us brain cancer. It's given us all kinds of cancer. And now they have the ability to take us hundreds of thousands or even millions. Do you know that when they get this 5G network covered all the way across the United States, do you know that they can read the frequencies off of everybody, and anybody who is in opposition to what they're doing, they can put us all down for the count until they collect up. They can make our bodies collapse, motionless. We won't be able to get up. They can stop our minds from thinking. They'll come and pick us up, maybe even with front-end loader buckets, load us up and take and incinerate us. And you folks are going to stand by and pray and let that happen to you? I don't get it. That is pure ignorance. I've told you before, and if the ones of you who are not chicken shit to research what I'm saying, you can find out for yourself. That King James Version is a drop in the bucket to the amount of stuff, history and biblical type of scriptural history that has been written and laid out for us to study, to look at, to learn from. You're not getting nothing but a drop in the bucket, and you think that's all you need, and you think God is going to stand by. You think there's a righteous God that's going to stand by and let humans who pray be dropped? Let me tell you something right now. You folks need to hear this right here. Idiots, you Jesus freaks don't get brain cancer, do you? No Christians get brain cancer, do they? Huh? Does any Christians get brain cancer? Does any Christians get any kind of cancers? Or do the frequencies bother any Christians? Any of you Jesus freaks bothered by radiation? No, because Jesus is keeping it all off of you. You're not dying. You're not getting sick. Your families aren't going anywhere. You Christians don't want to hear anything about this. You don't want to hear about it. You don't want to think about it because you're living under a false pretense that somebody else is going to do all the work for you. They're going to come in and intercede for you. They're going to defend you. Well, where has that happened in the last 2,000 years? Actually, where has it happened in the last 10,000 years? We've got North American Indian skeletons on the North American continent that dates back 13 to 16,000 years. That includes Noah's flood time. You folks are listening and believing and carrying on a bunch of bullshit. And you're standing up, you're laying down, and you're letting all of this stuff continue to happen and continue to go on like you are not affected. Well, I can tell you right now, there's plenty of people out here that consider themselves Christians. I consider myself a Christian. I'm just not a dumbass Christian who believes that somebody else is going to do my damn fighting for me. And until you people communicate with each other and get your damn guns and stop them from putting up these 5G towers and stop them from putting these boosters and transformer, these units that they're putting right at your houses, right in your yards. You can see them out your windows, and you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing about it. And you think Jesus is going to save you? You just keep on believing that. But I'm going to tell you one thing. In my opinion, ignorance should be stamped out. Ignorance should be done just like these government bastards want to do the few remaining intelligent people across the United States and across this whole flat earth. You ignorant people who refuse to take a stand, who are waiting on somebody else to do your fighting for you, you need to be exterminated. Folks, I'm going to put some links in the description box. I'm going to try to list these links somewhere on the video or within the contents of the videos so you folks will have access to the links. I suggest that you look at some of these things, and if they're an hour long or hour and a half long, I suggest that you take the time to listen to them. If you don't, you're not ever going to be educated to what's really going on, folks. That's how you find out and get some ideas about what's actually going on, is by applying yourself to study. You understand? God bless y'all, or God damn y'all. It doesn't make any difference to me. You stupid son of a bitches who's too chicken shit to fight, who's too ignorant to talk to somebody else, who stands by idle and lets everything just kill you and your family and everything you care anything about. Obviously, you don't care nothing about yourselves or anything else. To allow this stuff to go on and not get huffy and puffy about it. You need to make a stand. And the stand needs to be by something besides idle conversation and prayers. Because prayers ain't stopping no towers from going up. And it ain't stopping what they're turning this earth into. And how they're using it against you. Using it to make you sick and kill you. Where's a prayer stopping any of that? It ain't. Wake up.